Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militiaman and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption. Hey, good evening everybody. Just wanted to step in tonight and say hello and just say we've got a few things that are going on, kind of crazy. Lots of stuff that we don't understand. What's true, what's not true. It's pretty common to see things going back and forth, and that's to be expected. We've always talked about this over the years, that even the great Dr. Shabibi talked about at the end there would be propaganda, if you will. So we'll see if this is taking place. But hey, we talked about the point of sale, and we talked about all the ATMs or point of sales, your pieces of equipment that are going to be used for taking care of the cashless transactions. Okay, it's going to be more electronic, but they're involved in talking about it again today, and that's interesting, is because not only are they talking about other things, but they still have a specific comment that I like, and I wanted to share it with you. It is the point of sale system is to facilitate cash transactions, because Iraq is far behind the rest of countries in the world, okay, in that field, and we all know that, but so it's going to be a new thing. The banking facilities are needing to do this quickly and as efficiently as possible. It's basically talking about that the money will be secured to a very high degree, which is what merchants need in their financial dealings. Well, what I believe that they're talking about when they say that the money will be secured to a very high degree is that the new money that they're going to use for this cashless transaction is going to be really important, because we believe that the polymers and the digital currencies, if you will, are going to be. Oh, you're too fussy. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Hold on. The newest edition is for Foster's, you guys. Sorry about that, but I just had to throw these guys in here because guess what? They're part of the family, all right? And they're really just too young to be on their own, and we're taking care of them. That's what we do. We help people, and then we help animals too. So anyway, you kittens go away, but I was getting back to the cash transactions, the point of sale data. It's a big thing. It isn't the most important thing in the world, but the truth is that it's part of this. But when I come back to this, that the money will be secured to a very high degree, is what merchants need in their financial dealings. So the new polymer money with the new security features, that's what I think that they're talking about. The electronic payment system having starting to work in all institutions and in the private sector. It's been a mandate for them to do that. They started it on June 1st, so we're already a few days into that, and so we're going to keep seeing this over and over again, and they reiterated it again today, the point of sale. So let's see what they do on the next thing. But let's go on to the Parliamentary Finance has the right to amend the budget law. Well, we know that the budget law has been in play. They're talking about many different things, when they're going to do it, where is the budget? We've had some pretty silly things ongoing, but just to be clear is that they're saying with legal authority that it is within the authority of the House of Representatives, the Finance Committee, and in the committees in the Parliament to amend a budget if it's made observations that they need to take care of. They say they can do that. They reiterated it today. It's basically stating any amendments in the financial budget are okay. Okay, they can do what they want to do, and that's what they're going to do. And so we're probably seeing that as we speak. So another thing too is that like in our politics too is that we get down to the wire. We get down to the bottom of the nitty gritty. So what they try to do is they try to figure out, well, how many votes do we have? Do we have enough from this block? Do we have this block, this group, yada, yada? Can we pass this budget? And the answer to that's going to be tomorrow, okay? But that's where they're at. And maybe tonight, maybe wee hours in the morning, because it's definitely wee hours in the morning, they're going to come up with a number, and they're going to figure on if they can get to that vote tomorrow and vote on it. They're scheduled, I believe, for noon in Baghdad time. We'll see if that holds true. I think we heard 1 o'clock, but I think the most recent is 12. Okay, but they're setting that session for tomorrow. They're talking about the paragraphs 13 and 14 with the Kurdistan region. But here they say the majority of the parliament members from various political forces, including the National Union, the New Generation, are all determined to pass the budget as soon as possible. The session is for tomorrow. So there you have. Tomorrow they're talking about, okay? Another one here says the state administration, different block, tomorrow to pass the budget to be approved. It won't be delayed. So the State Administration Alliance is on board with this. Again, they're talking about scheduled session for tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow's Thursday. It says all political forces and blocks with the State Administration Coalition and even those outside it have a consensus. So not just this coalition, but those that are outside that I just mentioned are in consensus. Means they're all in agreement and they want to move towards approving the budget without complications. So they're like, let's get this done. Let's do it right the first time. And how about we end this? Because we know that the first and second reading has been done over a month or so ago. The third reading, which we're hoping for, is tomorrow. It has a process. That budget is going to be, excuse me, in front of them to be voted on. And if it gets voted on, the president will see in here, we'll talk about that, is that his job is to move it on to the president of the country. Once they pass it, vote it, Halabusi sends it off to Al-Rashid, I believe his name is, which is a Kurd, to get it to the Gazette. So, excuse me, those things take time. It can take 1 day, it can take 2 days, it can take outwards of 15 days. If it doesn't get into the Gazette in 15 days, it automatically does. So with the urgency that they have, what we're thinking is that if they expose an exchange rate or the budget and sign off on it as early as tomorrow, you're going to see that there's going to be some talk about what the effects are going to be, because this is not just an operational budget, it's an investment budget. It's the first time ever in 3 years. No, it's the first time ever for having a 3-year budget. Taif Sami, she's the finance minister. She could go down in history as doing one of the most critical budgets in the history of Iraq. Okay, and that's a fact. That could happen, and if that's what we're up against, it's obvious that on Thursday the House of Representatives will hold a parliamentary session to approve the financial budget law for the 23, 24, and 25 budget. I don't know if you guys are excited or not, but I'll tell you what, it's kind of a white knuckler tonight, because this is what's happening, and this is coming in the coming hours. Again, they use the terms, the session is scheduled for tomorrow. So we're just going to watch and see what they tell us. All this information that I gave you guys is all news. It's all out in public. And that's all we do is try to help people. Okay. We're not looking to make a bunch of money and do all these different things. All we're trying to do is to say, look, this is what we have. And it's really, really important to pay attention, because if you're not paying attention to this, what we're talking about, you're not getting the whole picture. This particular one, it says here, this is what's crazy. It says the final version of the budget is missing. Really? How could a final version of a budget be missing at a critical time like this? It just, there's the good and the bad. There's the right and the wrong. But here they say the final version doesn't even exist, especially since the Parliamentary Finance didn't finish voting on the law. So why would you put out information like that? Well, we started off talking about Dr. Shabibi and some propaganda. I wouldn't be surprised if this article right here specifically, even though they're talking about setting it tomorrow, they're saying they don't have a copy of the budget. This isn't the only one that says that. There's another one that says whoever finds a copy of the amended budget must return it to the Finance Committee after it was kidnapped nearly 2 weeks ago. So you have to kind of laugh. It's like, you're kidding me, right? You don't have the budget? Where'd it go? Who's on first? Who's on second? It's like an Abbott and Costello show. It's kind of weird and silly, but that's what we're saying. The truth be told, though, it says in this particular case, I like it a lot. It says that the budget is not just a map of numbers, but rather an approach to reform, justice, and service to the people that we place in the hands of the Prime Minister whom we trust. But some political forces still believe that the deputy is just a pawn, so the budget was hijacked and hidden to pass it on the old ways. I'm pretty sure what they're talking about here is that in the hands of the Prime Minister that we trust, we're talking about al-Sudani, and I don't think that they're going to have any problems with him. I think he's been a rock star, and his record is going to play that to the end. It says then after the fact, it says another last thing I like to talk about is it says radical changes to the budget law in favor of the region, which is the Kurdistan region. So they're saying that they have tonight, this afternoon, or maybe even earlier in the day, because this stuff runs late. News doesn't always come in at, like we think it does. If it comes in at our time at midnight, it could have been 12 hours earlier. But the voting session on the budget will be held tomorrow. That's again, all of these articles are saying the same thing. Tomorrow, basically it's saying God willing, and we expect the law to be passed. There are radical changes in the paragraphs related to the share of the Kurdistan region in favor of the region. So obviously what they're saying is that they're going to do something different in this particular budget that's going to be radically different, and it's going to be in favor of the Kurds. Interestingly enough, they have dissolved the parliament in the Kurdistan region, and they don't have much of a leg to stand on when it comes to negotiations. But here, they're telling you that the radical changes in the paragraphs related to the share of the Kurdistan region are in the favor of the Kurdistan region. Okay, so the presidency of the House of Representatives has previously set Thursday, June 8th, 2023, as the date of the voting session on the draft law. So the president of the House of Representatives set Thursday, tomorrow, for the budget. If he says he's doing that, that to me is going to be a little bit more important than a deputy or anybody else. Okay, so all of this information that I just mentioned to you is kind of quick and furious, but to be fair, what we're really waiting on is the budget to be passed, ratified, however you want to talk about it. Does it happen tomorrow? And if it does happen, what happens before it? Something subsequently could happen before it. Subsequently, something could happen just thereafter, or prior to the legal term to get it to the Gazette. So there's a window there. So I'm not saying that I know what or how it's going to play out, but the nice part is that A, there could be a rate before the budget gets exposed, or B, at the same time, C, after, and within a short period of time. Because if it's an operational budget, which includes an investment budget, and the largest portion of it is investment, and it's for 3 years, we know that the budget doesn't work at 1310. So there's going to be some changes. So let's see what happens. Thank you for sharing your time with me this evening. I'm glad you're here. So if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, that would be great. If you'd like to join us at Patreon, perfect. If you'd like to donate, please do. Thank you very much, and have a good night. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content. Subscribe to the channel, or join us at the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much, and have a great day.